All right, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So let's talk about YouTube, right? Everyone wants to be a YouTuber these days. Everyone wants to have their content hit 1 million views. Everyone wants to have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Everyone wants to have their content shared by hundreds of thousands of people. Look, everyone wants that, right? And there's nothing wrong with wanting that, especially when you have content that's really helping other people and really being a better piece to this world, right? We could all use a little bit of positivity every now and again. But when it comes to really understanding YouTube, I can tell you from experience, I've been on this platform now consistently posting content for just over a year. I think I reached a year back on December 27th, 2020 was my first, or 2019 was my first piece of content that I put out. Hence, 2021, we have now reached a full year of being on YouTube. Now, when it comes to this platform, here's something that I really want you to understand. It's always changing, it's always adapting, and it's always evolving. Just because YouTube is never going to release its secrets to, how the algorithm works, or maybe if you do this, you'll get immediate results or more views. But I wanted to really cater a video around some things that I wish I would have known when I first started YouTube. And these are some of the things that I talk about in my YouTube Growth Academy. So I wanted to also include some of that conversation on here. So if you are involved in YouTube Growth Academy, then you've heard some of these things before, not all of these. You've heard some of these things before. And if you haven't been involved in YouTube Growth Academy, then I highly encourage you to check the link down in the description, and you can also get your hands on that coupon code to get $100 off. Okay, 5 things I wish I knew when I first started YouTube. Let's just go ahead and start off with the first one, because I really think that this is going to help you out if you are thinking of starting a channel, or if you are absolutely stuck on why isn't my channel growing, or why am I not getting past this phase. And hence, the same time last year, I was at right around 300, maybe 400 subscribers. I think at the time of this recording, I'm right around 99, maybe 100,000 subscribers, give or take. When it comes to growing on YouTube, or when it comes to some things that I wish I would have known when I first started growing my YouTube channel, is not all content is created equal. Let's go ahead and break that down, because you're probably thinking, okay, well, tell me something I don't know, right? Here's what I mean by that. If, let's say, I'm posting a piece of content that is, let's say, about YouTube growth, then that piece of content is maybe going to be highly searchable, and you're going to have more people wanting to see, okay, what exactly is this guy talking about, right? It's going to have a little bit of more shelf life. It's going to have, it's not going to die as fast. But if I talk about, let's say, sports, or if I talk about a sporting event, and I talk about, let's say, a basketball game that was on last night, and this team beat this team, then that shelf life for that video, it's not necessarily going to go past, let's say, that 48 to 72 hour window. This is usually how trends work. So let me go ahead and bring out a board, because I really want to show you how this works. Let's say that I put out a piece of content that we can call that's a little bit more evergreen. It'll do one of these right here, right? And it'll kind of just stay the course, stay the course. This is your views right here. Let's go ahead and just have a little chart right here. This is known as your views right here. But let's say that I put out a piece of content, and it is maybe about that game, or it's maybe something that's trending, maybe you're doing a reaction video to a trending dance, or you're doing a reaction video to maybe a trending tweet, or to a piece of news, right? We see this all the time. A good example of that is Elon Musk. He recently, Tesla, they recently purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So check this out. Something like that, let's say it reaches what we can call peak media right here, and this is your views, but here's what ends up happening. It comes down, and it kind of just goes flat, and then maybe just even goes into no man's land. Let me see if you can see that right there, meaning you're not going to get any views for the remaining time of that video. The reason that this is important to know is because not all content is created equal. So you have to be able to do, and again, this is something that I want to share with you, because this is something that I had to learn early on. You have to be able to adjust when you're putting out a piece of content. Okay, am I putting this piece of content out for just for getting tons of views, and then knowing that it's going to crash later on? Believe me, you're going to get a spike in subscribers, you're going to get a spike in views. But if you're putting out a piece of content on the other side, maybe it's a little bit more related to your business. Maybe you're not going to go and get hundreds of thousands of views, but here's what's going to end up happening with maybe a more evergreen piece of content. You're going to build trust with a type of audience that you're really trying to tap into. And you're also going to what we can call get business on the back end. When you get business on the back end, and let's go ahead and go into the second thing I wish I would have known when I first started YouTube. it's not all about the views, because when you're building business on the back end, somebody may think, okay, well, let's say this physical therapist, or let's say this personal trainer, or somebody who's posting up fitness content, or let's say I have a good friend of mine who's been thinking about posting up speech therapy type of content, right? For those maybe students between the ages of 7 to 14, elementary to middle school. She may not necessarily get a lot of views for that specific type of content or that YouTube channel, but here's what's going to end up happening. The views that she does get are going to be solid leads for her business, and the views that she does get is really going to help solidify her business. So let's say when a client's looking her and her practice up, they can say, wow, so-and-so has 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I can rest assured, or you can rest assured that those 4,000 subscribers on YouTube will most likely, the majority of them pay to have that type of service done, because they're searching for something related to what she's talking about. Versus if, again, you're talking about Tesla or you're talking about Bitcoin, for the purpose of getting views, yeah, you'll get the views on the front end, but you're not necessarily going to get a lot of business on the back end, because it seemed more like a news outlet rather than an actual service that you provide. And again, there's nothing wrong with either of these. It just depends what type of business model you're actually looking to build. And speaking of businesses, let's talk about the third thing here, and that's your niche, right? I consider niches kind of like different businesses. Let's say if you have a niche that you only talk about gaming, that's a type of business. If you have a niche that you only talk about, let's say, beauty and makeup, that's a type of business, right? Or that's a type of niche that you would consider talking about, that you want to kind of pull that audience. But one thing that I learned early on is not to niche down too early. And I know that this goes completely against what a lot of people, would say or teach on YouTube, but this is more of my personal observation. This is something that I really think that why my channel has grown as fast as it has, and that's I didn't necessarily niche down too early. Now, most people would say you're a finance channel. If you ask somebody else, they would say you're a motivational channel. You ask somebody else, they'll tell you, oh, he's a credit repair channel. But I think that a lot of that kind of blends, or even a news channel, because I cover stimulus quite a bit. But all of that kind of blends together, and they all kind of speak to each other. So I want you to think of that kind of like different departments within your business, right? It's kind of like if you have an online store, you have, let's say, apparel, and then you have, let's say, watches, and then you have, let's say, items, if you sell drinks, and then you have another section that it's maybe you sell shoelaces, right? Kind of think of it like that, because if you only go, and again, this is just my observation, you can run your channel however you want, but if you're only building a channel based off of one specific subject, if that subject, let's say, flatlines, kind of like what we saw earlier with certain topics, or if no one's searching for it anymore, or if, let's say, you were only talking about how to grow your Facebook like page, and people aren't really wanting to grow their Facebook like pages anymore, well, guess what? You really have to pivot fast and start speaking about something else that people want to search for. This is why I recommend, even in my course, I recommend having a couple of different buckets or even little departments that you talk about, because at the end of the day, your niche is really you, and no one can ever take that from you. The way that you speak, the way that you enunciate your words, the way that you deliver your content, the way that your hair color is, the way that you laugh, your accent, everything, it all comes back down to how you present that. Now, this one may seem simple, but so many people overlook it, and I think the reason for that is because it goes down to just honestly having a little bit of discipline, and that's posting regularly. When you're posting regularly, something that I've really observed about the algorithm, and this isn't a fact, right? Because YouTube isn't going to disclose this, but again, my personal observation with YouTube is I've noticed that the times that I took a little too long to post, or even content on a specific type of subject, if I would go long without talking about that, then whenever I would post about it again, YouTube wouldn't necessarily push that content back out. Or if, let's say, the times that I would consistently speak about a specific content or a piece of, let's say, subject, I would see that those subscribers will continue to return. And the reason for that is because, remember, YouTube is a business, so they want to keep people on the platform as long as they can. So if YouTube is recommending your page kind of like a store, then they want to know that your store is open. Think of your channel kind of like a store, right? For this example, they want to know that your channel is open. They know that, okay, I can send these subscribers here for beauty, I can send them here for fitness, and I can send them here for a little financial talk every now and again. But if, let's say, this store only opens once a month, or this store only opens once every 3 months, what's the point of me sending my customers there, hence the viewer, if we're not going to make any, let's say, sales on the back end? Hence, this is how ad revenue works. Whenever you have a YouTube channel and you get those ads, in your video. So one thing that I would recommend is there's no perfect amount of what I would say posting that you can do. I've seen channels with 1 million subscribers that they would only post once a week. I've seen others that they post 5 times a day. Some people may think it's not enough. Others may think it's overkill. Find a happy medium for you, one that fits your schedule if this isn't what you do full time, and one that really fits your mental health, because it can take a toll on you if you don't plan accordingly between your content, your business, if you have a business apart from YouTube, and just your regular life. So I would say a recommendation for those starting out, post at least twice a week, bare minimum once a week. That would be my strong encouragement for you. And then lastly, no one is going to promote your YouTube channel the way that you do. Now, I do believe in social proof, and I do believe that there's nothing like, let's say, having someone or, you know, a couple of followers every now and again or subscribers share your content, because one, it lets you know that you're doing your job as far as a creator and you're putting out good content. That always feels good. But when it actually comes to you promoting your channel yourself, letting people know, hey, look, I just posted a video. Hey, share this with a friend you think might find this helpful. Hey, I just shared 3 tips on how you can maybe fix those cracks on your sidewalk. Whatever the heck you're posting about, promote it yourself. And this can be totally free. It doesn't necessarily have to be you buying ads, buying any type of views. I never did that when I was growing my channel. To this day, I never have. I'm not against it. I'm just saying what worked for me. So that means putting it on your Facebook. That means putting it on your Instagram story. That means posting maybe the thumbnail as part of one of your Instagram posts, or even on TikTok. Say, hey guys, right after you have a good TikTok, hey guys, don't forget, I have a YouTube channel. If you guys want more details on how I did this, go check it out. Consider subscribing. That's it. You want to try to bring in as many people or as much attention to your content as possible from different sources, just because you can never, what I would say, be too comfortable. You can never rely on just having one source of what we can call social media when it comes to either just having an Instagram or just having a YouTube or just having a TikTok. So there you have it. I hope that you enjoyed this video. These are some of the most important things that I think I picked up early on, either learning it myself or again, speaking with other creators. I don't believe that you're just going to automatically skip the learning curve, because we're always learning, but I do believe that it's going to accelerate the time that it takes for you to actually reach your goal with your YouTube channel. So if you enjoyed this content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and join the official community. Don't forget that anytime we're not posting on this channel, we are posting on the second channel, which is the Inside with Irv Show. That is our podcast style channel. So if you like what we have going on over here, you'll love what we have going on over there. And as always, I want to thank our sponsors over at Amazon's Audible and at Webull, where you can pick up 4 free stocks when you deposit $100. You can pick up 4 free stocks valued up to $1,600. And with Amazon's Audible, you can pick up 1 free book as well as enjoy a free month by hitting both links down in the description. Once again, I appreciate you watching. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.